To 7207 Whipple Street in Swissvale. A little look at the yard and the street. Whipple does get a lot of through traffic, people cutting out the tunnel from their 376 commute. So, I am here around 4:30. We're seeing just kind of the start of cut through traffic. And it lasts maybe around an hour on the busier days. Weekdays. Sorry. Hopefully I will be coherent during this tour a little bit. I need some more coffee. The most of the porch looks really good. The actual railing looks like we have just a couple maintenance items on it. Very cool looking front door. It has 2 handles, just to keep you guessing. Stepping into the foyer, we do have the radiators there. Really nice sized entryway. I cannot get the light switch on. Feels like it should push, but it doesn't. Okay. So they have this room set as the dining space. They have their main table here. And so they've just kind of flipped the dining and living versus the traditional layout. It looks like some plaster work had been done, and we do have new floors laid. There is a little bit of a lean here towards the kind of central support. So we'll see what's happening in the basement, but it does come to a little bit of a dip right here. There we go. There is also ductwork for central air conditioning piped through there. This fireplace looks like they have, this is a facade, but you do have a gas line under here. You might need to do either gas, or you should be able to do wood insert. You might need to add a liner, as is pretty typical for these style of chimneys. But good sized room here. They do have these rolled down. It's a little tough to see. I'm just going to kind of pick this up so we can see that back porch. You could get really lovely light into this room. The afternoon light is coming from this side. Nice kind of crown details as well. I would expect originally you would have had pocket doors through here, and then kind of around between 1950 and 1970 it became very common to go ahead and just turn this into an archway. But looking at the depth of the plaster there, I imagine that wall originally had those pocket doors. Okay. This is set up as a galley style kitchen, but it's a pretty wide kitchen. The rug might give some perspective to, it looks like about maybe a 5x7 rug or so. So a good amount of kind of space to move around in here. Really tall cabinet, so we do have a full 40-inch cabinet up above, it looks like. Curious what these wires are. Oh, it looks like this is connected. So I don't know why. It looks like something's going on that should probably be unplugged. But you can see here that kind of extra tall, space to keep things that you might not use quite as often. Pretty modest sized refrigerator. And dishwasher over by the sink. Right next to it, looks like the door came off of where they put their trays and pans and such. This is like a laminate countertop. It looks like they maybe did kind of DIY on the backsplash here. Not an absolute perfect execution, but it, could be improved with more DIY effort. Just kind of attention to detail on that. This floor is like a laminate. It is click and connect. I'm seeing a little bit of separation here. I'm curious. No, not too much separation under the rug. Little counter space, workbench of sorts. And a little bit of storage space along this wall. Pantry space. This probably has a chimney behind it, I would suppose, where we'll see in the basement along this wall. But just given that everything is kind of bumped out this way, otherwise I would have expected that they would have continued the run all the way down. So this looks like it's probably like a chimney bulkhead. I keep stepping backwards on the trash can. Should this become your future kitchen, please don't leave your trash can there. Okay, really great spot for laundry. So long as it stays, so long as you don't run into freezing lines. But you have a radiator here, so I don't think that that would be an issue. Technically a full bathroom because we do have a shower in here. Good height on the shower. It's a little bit tight, but not too bad. And this door, this style, whoops, door usually doesn't do that. There we go. Okay. You can adjust the blinds. Maybe needs a little bit of adjusting there, but you do have a pretty easy up and down on the blinds. So some portions of Whipple Street back up directly to 376. Here it's nice that we have one other street behind you, so you got a little bit of insulation from the noise. This part of the deck is covered. Really nice large deck. And you can see that they have their downspouts going all the way to the back of the yard to keep that water away from the foundation. Looks like reasonably good drainage. I hope to find the basement pretty dry, especially in the back. Some more hardscaping here. And then this leads to the parking area, which could remain parking or could be a nice sunny spot for some container gardening. This area also seems like opportunity for improvement with some landscaping as desired. This will take us down to the basement. We'll finish the living areas first and take a look at the basement at the end. Little look at stained glass, and these sorts of plaster cracks are pretty normal to see in houses of this age. All right, first door on the right is the bathroom. Updated flooring, bathtub. The actual fixtures doesn't look like it is designed to fit perfectly here. Curious. I'm not going to force this. I might be missing something on And the actual tub might need to do something with the plumbing fixtures. Ooh, this is a really cool looking radiator. Looks like a good towel warmer. The actual space in here is relatively tight. This is, you know, I at 5'8" can sit without too much trouble on this space. But it's just a little bit tight. I think that you wouldn't have space to add like a deep vanity or anything like that. In this space here where you have the tub, right, you definitely wouldn't want the vanity to come out any further just because it's really tight right in this particular spot. And hall closet is just an open closet. Carpets here are super clean. I am feeling guilty for having my shoes on usually. I have to remove them, but we're going into the basement too. They've done some like wardrobes for storage. I imagine this closet feels like a very old closet that's not extremely deep. Yeah, so they've used this more for shelving and hanging items to go into the wardrobe and such. Well, this is delightful. This is a great bathroom. Really nice tub, tile surround. Good large vanity, good storage. Let's look at the access, how it feels. The barn door works reasonably well. Oops. Seeing some age on the roof. I'm not sure whether or not they've disclosed the age of the roof. I think servicing to the box gutters would be recommended to have someone just put a new, basically a new seal over them, which usually costs maybe $1,000 for a house this size to get all of that done. It doesn't need to be done super regularly, but maybe every 5-ish years. And then another very nice sized bedroom. You can see a queen size bed in here. Lots of other furniture. Another good clever use of the actual storage space to make sure that you maximize that there. The doors are a little tight, especially they have quite a bit of bedding in here, so I'm wondering if it's the door versus just the actual stuff in the closet. So that lining, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this box gutter. I'll put that in the category of it would be nice for someone who knows box gutters to take a look at the box gutters. And the roof itself is a 3-tab shingle, so I would assume it to be older. It doesn't have like I can't see necessarily the fiberglass on the edges, like it's totally worn down. So there might still be some life left in the actual roof. This room is locked. I'll have to see if we can get a floor plan or something to be able to see that one. I believe that the room is about 8 by 9 from similar sized houses that I've seen. So big enough for a twin size bed, but you know, would like to know more. Okay. It's nice and toasty up on the 3rd floor. The air does get about 5 degrees warmer as I go up to this floor. The air conditioning does seem like it would run from the top down from the way that I'm seeing the vents and things installed. So hopefully that would improve the flow to this floor. But sometimes the 3rd floor is just always going to need a window unit. Lovely large room. Good light. Tricky closet door. Yeah, these doors are just totally off of their track. So we're going to have to kind of make assumptions about the closet here. You can take the sneak peek as you're only the size of a camera. Okay, heading down to the basement. Little detail adding. I don't think this to be original, but it's nice enough. Lots of shoes right here, just a little tricky to get around. I'm looking for light switches. I don't have light switches, so it might be a little bit dark. The ceiling height down here is really just at 6 feet probably. I can hit my head on this light if I stand on my tiptoes. Yeah, I don't even have to go on my tiptoes to hit that. So this is coming down right about 5'8" or so. And I can walk with head clearance, but just hardly. $150 amp breaker. The wiring I'm seeing looks relatively updated here. I'm seeing the date is 2015 when they put this panel in. I'm seeing pretty much Romex cable here, so I'm wondering if they did some substantial electric work at that point in time. The air feels relatively dry down here. They have a really good parge coating and dry lock on the main foundation. Given that we were seeing that kind of dip in the middle of the main where a lot of the load is being carried in the house, I'm very curious to kind of see what things look and feel like down here. This is steel. It's not usually when you see a steel beam, what I have typically seen is like a steel I-beam flipped a different direction that literally is shaped like a capital I. This is more like a U, if you will. So it's like I don't think a steel U-beam is a thing, but it looks like there was some intentional thought behind what was going on down here. It's a thing I might, just want an inspector engineer take definitely a closer look at. But I'm not seeing major signs of like cracking or shifting or sagging. We're seeing over here, this is pulled away a bit from the original joist. On those there. So there are, I think getting someone to evaluate and give some prescription for what to do with the potential support down here. Someone with expertise in that area, I think, could give some very good recommendations. But all I can kind of say is I'm scratching my head a little bit because this is not what I always see. We have the main sewer stack. This is coming down from the first floor powder room. which is was originally like a coal cellar or back porch or something of the sort. You can see where maybe some was added over time with a concrete masonry unit. So some of this has been, you know, improved over the ages. This is the main actual foundation wall, the end of the main home. And this is going into the ground here. I'm not seeing an easy access to a clean out. We can look at the front of the house. Currently we're in the back. Bryant is a good name. In terms of boiler, we're seeing a lot of soot, even just from the exterior. I'm not seeing a lot of service dates on it. So it does say 2001 on the furnace, it looks like install. And so, you know, boilers can last pretty easily 30, 40 years or so. So service is definitely recommended on that. This is interesting. So we do have this stack coming down for the bathrooms, and we do have a clean out on this line, which is great because we would be able to look at least the interior line. It does look like it's tying into terracotta, which is less common to see in the interior. Usually it's steel on the interior and then converts to terracotta at the exterior. But terracotta also doesn't corrode, so not necessarily bad. I don't see a date, and one just looks old. Old hot water heater. Very old hot water heater. Okay, we looked at plumbing, electric. I'm curious. I can't get these lights on. There might be over by this the main water shutoff, access to be able to try and get to another plumbing clean out. Sometimes you'll see those right around there. Overall, you know, the foundation itself seems to be in pretty serviceable condition. Some questions on if any recommendations be made for the support system. But it is a pretty lovely home. We'll head right back to the front porch to wrap up.